The classic mess around, find out game as the Padres pound, annihilate, destroy the Dodgers 10-2 at Dodger Stadium, and home field advantage runs through Petco Park, just like it did in 2022. Is it deja vu all over again or not? The Dodgers, what on earth are you thinking? You've messed with the wrong team. Jack Flaherty, fans at Dodger Stadium, and the Padres completely took advantage. They were the first team in baseball history to hit 6 home runs in a road playoff game. That's what happened tonight. And Fernando Tatis Jr., for the second time in 10 career playoff games, has a multi-homer game. And Darvish, by the way, was spectacular and could be a Game 5 starter if it goes 5 games. The Padres hoping it doesn't, and they can wrap this thing up at home. As you make your way in live round replay, you know the deal. This is one of the great games of the year, if not the game of the year. To this point, it's got to be. Subscribe, year-round content for baseball fans. Smash the like button for us and follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. We appreciate your support of the channel. You know that. We really do. We'll get to every single super chat here tonight, all of them, as long as it takes. We'll be here all night with you. Click the $sign below the chat box. If you want to become a member and support the channel, click join down below. You get custom emojis and badges. I mean, I would just say this, Jim, to start it. This is kind of like an LOL for me. The way this played out, it played right into the Padres' hands. Darvish deserves credit. The Padres batters deserve credit. The defense was ridiculous. But you don't want to do this with the San Diego Padres, and that's exactly what the Dodgers did. They made it personal, and that's a bad strategy against this team right now.
I mean, did they not learn their lesson from calling Jurickson Profar irrelevant, knowing that this team, whenever they're slighted this regular season, it's a bad recipe for their opponent. We just know that. And they exactly did that tonight. It's the quintessential fuck around and find out meme. And it started with Jack Flaherty, the bum who gave up 4 runs and then started chirping at Manny. Like, what are you doing?
That's where it started, man. It completely started there.
You're in a no-win situation there. You pitch like shit. You gave up 4 runs. You're trailing in the game, and you decide to start shit with Manny. Of all people, Manny Machado, just the worst possible decision that he could have made. And look, I'm not saying that every single Dodgers fan is complete trash, but what happened tonight, whoever threw that ball on the field is the poster child for scum. I mean, such a fucking classless group of people to throw things at players. And it's just, I mean, again, you mess with the wrong team tonight. Now, again, we don't know what happens in the rest of the series, but for tonight, you mess with the wrong team and they whooped your ass. And Fernando Tatis Jr. poured it on, and Jackson Merrill is amazing. And Darvish had one of the best performances of his career in a must-win game for the Padres. And just all in all tonight could not have gone any better for the Padres.
And Profar's play in the first on bets kind of ignited the flames. Like that started it simmering, and it's everything that the Padres needed. Profar plays his best in those circumstances and situations. He needs that to fuel him. And he made an incredible play to the point that Betts thought he had homered. He had rounded second, and based on Profar's reaction, he thought he had homered, and he was dejected because he actually thought he had homered the way that Profar the way he was kind of jawing with the crowd. He didn't realize Profar had it. And that just started everything tonight. To your point on Jack Flaherty, I have no idea what you're thinking. They have no good option if this series goes 5 games, by the way.
Yeah.
Again, Padres fans are hoping, and the Padres are hoping this thing never gets to Dodger Stadium again, like 2022. But Yamamoto was trash. Flaherty was not good. Darvish was incredible here tonight. You've got Dylan Cease if you need him in a 5th game situation. You have Michael King in game 3. So everything just worked out perfectly. And Manny Machado's moment in the dugout, where I would take exception to what Ken Rosenthal said in his stupid little sideline hit in the 8th or 9th inning. He's like, that's the #1 leadership moment of his career. Like, you've never seen this guy in the clubhouse. You have no clue what he's doing each and every day. Like, absolutely no clue. And you're a big reason why he's vilified nationally, Ken, by the way. But It was a great moment for Manny Machado, bringing the club together. You don't often see it in a baseball dugout. You just don't often see it. It happens a lot behind closed doors. But to bring the team together and be like, you know what? Forget the noise. We're better than them. Let's just win this game fair and square. Don't worry about all the stuff that's happening on the periphery, the 11-minute stoppage or whatever it was. I thought it was a great moment for Manny Machado, and the team took care of the rest, man. That was a 4-1 game, Jim. I mean, it was a game when all that was going down in the 6th and 7th inning, and the Padres just poured it on late with the 6 home runs tonight.
Fernando Tatis Jr. is hitting .643 this postseason with 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, and his OPS is 2,151.
I mean, could it be better? Yeah. I mean, it could. You're right. If that's the point you're making, I mean, you're right.
I mean,
it could be hitting a little better.
All the talk of Ohtani this, Ohtani that, Ohtani's up in 4 batters, Ohtani's up second next inning.
Yep.
Fernando Tatis Jr. is having the best postseason of anybody in the postseason at this very moment. And we talked a lot about before the postseason started. Can somebody like Manny or Tatis, can they put the team on their back and just go to another level, Super Saiyan, nuclear, red hot level? And right now it's Fernando Tatis Jr. I mean, just an incredible night from him. 2 home runs, the trolling, I mean, we haven't even talked about the spectacular defense from everybody tonight, including every single outfielder, from Arise, from Manny. I mean, just tonight was an absolute clinic from starting pitching to bullpen to this team's offense to defense. An absolute clinic tonight by the Padres. And I mean, again, the story of tonight and the theme of tonight is you fuck around and find out. And that's exactly what happened to the Dodgers.
Fernando Tatis Jr. in his 10-game postseason career is a .444 hitter with a .556 on base and a .1528 OPS. In 2 seasons, in 10 games, he's hit 5 home runs with 10 RBIs in 10 career postseason games. As you make your way in, subscribe. Year-on content for you. Smash the like button for us. We're going to get to all the super chats. Let's get it started right now. John and Jim with you for as long as we need here tonight. The Padres are even in this best-of-5 series, heading back for San Diego Tuesday at 6:08. We'll be at the Naughty Barrel downtown from 3 to 6 on Tuesday and Wednesday. Join us before you make your way inside Petco Park. It'll be one of the great environments in the history of the ballpark on Tuesday at Petco. Every so often, thank you for your longtime support of the channel. We really appreciate it. Great way to get us started. Good karma with Every So Often, who says blowout win, but you was outstanding. You know, for him to get out of that second inning spot, Jim, bases loaded, nobody out. He allows the sac fly, and then there's that hard hit ball to first, and it turns into an inning-ending double play, and that was the game. That was it. Now, if the ball's hit somewhere else, maybe the game looks different. It wasn't. Arise made the play. It was hit hard, and the Dodgers never seriously threatened ever again in this game, and that's what good pitchers do. There'll be one inning where they're susceptible, but if they get out of it, you're in trouble, and that's what Yu Darvish did here tonight.
Yeah, Yu Darvish was brilliant. You know, kept Ohtani at bay. Went 0 for 3 against Darvish tonight. That moment you're talking about was a huge moment in this game, and he gets out of it. And Luis Arraez with a great pick at no, it was double play. Yeah, so it wasn't. I'm talking about another.
Yeah, that was the line drive that he then
right
tagged first for the double play.
Right. But I mean, all in all, Yu Darvish to me tonight put together a postseason. It's not the flashiest of lines. Like, it's not like a Michael King 7 innings, no earned runs, no walks, 12 strikeouts performance. But I mean, I could argue that this
it's
better than that. Yeah.
Dodger Stadium, give me a break.
Like, he put on one of the best pitching performances of his career, I could argue. And it's just because of the magnitude and how tonight was a must win. Like, they had to win this game. There's no other way about it. And not only did they win it, I mean, they won it going away. It wasn't even.
It was a romp.
Close. It was a romp.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, here's how I look at it: you lose the game, you lose the series, you win the game, and I think the odds would suggest you're a series favorite. I mean, 2 of the next 3 would be at Petco, and we've watched the way the season series has played out. And we're looking at the pitching matchups. Padres are going to be favored at home game 3. Doesn't mean they're going to win the series. I'm just telling you, they're going to be favored now, in my opinion, to win the series with potentially 2 of the next 3 at home. Arthur, thank you for the super chat. Click the $ below the chat box. He says, thanks to the felons in the outfield for poking the Padres bare. I mean, this got stupid. Security came onto the field. They lined security down the left and right field lines. There were multiple baseballs thrown on the field. There was trash thrown at Fernando Tatis Jr., who honestly did an amazing job just kind of enjoying the moment and taking it all in and completely trolling Dodger fans throughout the course of the last 3 innings in this game. But I mean, it was kind of stupid from the Dodgers' perspective. I put it more on the Dodgers than I put it on their fans. Like the Jack Flaherty circumstance is way worse, to your point, because of what happened with Will Smith early in the year. It's way stupider, not a word, for Flair to be playing that game in game 2 of a series when he's not pitching well. If he's got a 5-0 lead, you want to get cute? Okay. I guess you could do it if you wanted to do it. But he was trailing in the game, and he egged on the Padres, and he may egg his way out of the postseason potentially with that.
Like, what was he thinking? By the way, I will throw a theory out that there was intent behind that pitch that hit Tatis in the thigh. Because if you look at his career numbers against Flaherty, he owns the guy. Like, just absolutely owns him. Hit that home run in the first, hit that double down the left field line in the second at bat, and then he gets hit. I know you could make an argument like you're not hitting him on purpose because you're trailing in the game, but
I don't know why you would. Was it 3-1? I mean,
if it's 3-1, then it's even more
no.
why.
The score of the game was 3 runs to 1 run.
It was 3-1. I get it. Look, if you want to make the argument, fine. But seeing him chirp and be a little bitch like he was kind of gives me more of like maybe it was actually kind of intentional, just because he started chirping and yelling at Manny to sit the fuck down. Like what?
Yeah, I think it's plausible. I don't know. I don't think we'll ever know, but I think the theory holds some credence because what's the worst thing that happens? You put him at first. I mean, the guy's capable of homering off you, as we've seen,
and he's
it's not the end of the world.
And you can't get the guy out against you. I mean, he owns you. I just think that, like, first off, the fan thing that happened after Flaherty and the trolling from Profar, I mean, that's all in good fun. And the trolling from Tatis after he makes that great catch, that's all in good fun. Like, that stuff is totally fine. And then when Flaherty started chirping, that's when it went to a different level. And I don't think there's a coincidence that the very next inning, the fans start throwing stuff on the field. Like, I don't think there's a coincidence there because I'm sure fans, like, everyone knows what's happening on their phone. I'm sure some fans in the bleachers saw it and maybe they got an idea. I'm not saying that's the reason why, but it's interesting how after Flaherty acted like a tough guy, the next inning, Dodger fans start throwing stuff on the field.
Well, no. What do you mean it's interesting? There's a direct correlation. I mean, they saw that
I know. That's what I mean.
Like, was heated.
Yeah.
I mean, it has everything to do with Jack Flaherty. There's no other way to look at it. It's not there's no other way to look at it. Andrew, thanks for the super. He says, statement win, hoping for a series win in San Diego. I mean, nobody wants to see this thing get back to Dodger Stadium, even though the Padres are fully capable of winning a game like this again in game 5 if they need with Darvish. Darvish opposite Flaherty is like good luck for LA. And Darvish opposite Yamamoto also would be good luck. But yeah, win this thing in San Diego. Hendrick, thank you. He says, vintage Yu Darvish, 7 innings, even with the fan delay. And he allowed the leadoff walk to Teoscar Hernandez after the 14-minute stop.
That was even more impressive, like to have a layoff of about 15 minutes because fans are stupid there, and then to go out and throw up a 0. Like,
that was really impressive. In what was, again, at the time, a close game. I mean, it's 4-1, leadoff man on. That thing could change quickly with LA's lineup, but it didn't. Credit to Darvish, who was just sensational here tonight. Omar, appreciate you, man. He says, need you in game 5 if this series goes there, LFGSD. I completely agree. I mean, I'll pull Dylan into my office if I'm managing and say, listen, we're going to need you moving forward, but we got to be able to get forward, and we're going to get to the next round by turning to Yu Darvish. Is that even a conversation, Jim, if it's between Cease and Darvish for game 5 if the series goes 5 games?
No question. It's Yu Darvish.
Has to be.
Not even a question. And the reason why is because both of them are on full rest. So Dylan Cease has an extra day. You're pitching Darvish game 5 if it gets to a game 5. Game 4, you'll worry about, obviously. And I'm sure they have a plan ready to go. It would make it a lot easier if you're up 2-1 than down 2-1, I can tell you that. But right now, if this thing goes 5, Yu Darvish is starting game 5. And the Dodgers, if they have to start Yamamoto or Flaherty, That's
Right.
advantage Padres.
Yeah, get ready for a bullpen game if you're Los Angeles. And again, I wouldn't want to play the game of just get it to a fifth game and take your chances as the favorite team. Nobody wants to play a fifth game at Dodger Stadium, let's be honest. I mean, you're not going to be like, hey, it's a guaranteed win. From the Padres' perspective, if you're Mike Schilt, the first thing you're saying on the bus back is this: that we ain't coming back. All right. This thing's over. We're going to do it. It's in our hands to end this thing. Let's do it ourselves. We don't need to come back here. Caleb, appreciate your support of the channel, guys. If you're here, please subscribe. We are here for you. We've been here all year. We'll be here in season, in the postseason, and in the off season. Please subscribe, and thank you for the super chats. We really do appreciate your support of the channel. We'll get to every single super chat here tonight. If you want to support the channel or control the direction of the conversation or see your comment on screen, like Caleb, who's a longtime supporter, he says, disgusting act from the Dodgers fans. Sad thing is San Diego fans would never treat Dodger fans or players that way. Hashtag dog shit fans. I thought it was Dodger shit fans, but dog shit fans from Caleb. It wasn't a great look. And by not being a great look, it was an awful look. And you never want to be seen as the fan base that is basically the worst. And that's basically what transpired here tonight, if we're going to be honest with each other. It's just an awful look. And again, I get it. You got 40, 50,000 people. It's easy to get. There's been other examples of this over the course of baseball history. I think it's a worse look for the Dodgers team. I'll continue to say that than it is for their fan base. But both ways, it's a really bad look.
Can I throw a lot of blame at Dave Roberts and the Dodgers right now for one, doing absolutely nothing to calm anything down? I mean, that was an utter embarrassment from everybody. Like, trash and baseballs are being thrown at Tatis and Profar, and you sit there and you do nothing. Like, fuck off, dude. Fuck all the way off. I mean, what an absolute joke. You could have easily diffused the situation, or at least made an attempt to diffuse the situation way faster by getting on a PA or telling someone to come over and telling the fans to knock it off. But you sat there and you knew that this would, or not would, but you thought that this might play into your favor because it was making you, Darvish, sit on the mound and wait until security get these loser fans out of that dog shit stadium. And that's a joke. It's an absolute joke on Dave Roberts and all the entire Dodgers. Completely
agree with that. I mean, it got to the point where if it would have continued, I don't even know what would have happened. You can't have a 40-minute stop. We were getting to the point where it's like at some point, someone's going to have to do something. I don't think they were going to forfeit the game, but like, what if it would have continued? What would baseball have done? Would Dave Roberts have had to get out there and be like, listen, if this continues, we're going to have to forfeit this game?
But no, that's the part of it that frustrates me a lot too, is that there's no repercussion for that. And it's advantage Dodgers, or at least at that moment in time, it felt like advantage Dodgers because Darvish was pitching great and they needed something to go right for them. And they needed some type of momentum shift. I'm not saying that was a momentum shift, but like, Darvish is sitting there for like 15, 20 minutes.
That's true. But I also thought in real time, Jim, watching it play out, I was thinking to myself the whole time, advantage Padres, you have woken up a non-sleeping giant.
Well,
you've gotten Jerks and Profar so effing pissed, and that's the last thing you want to do. And now you got Xander Bogaerts with his arms around him, and Manny Machado and Fernando. I mean, you got a team so singularly focused now on beating LA based on how this all played out that I think it completely backfired on the Dodgers. Obi-Wan Classic, thank you for the super. He says this was the equivalent of the Goose Game of 2022, but this was self-inflicted. The Goose had nothing to do with Jack Flaherty's decision tonight to jaw with Manny Machado, which is the worst possible idea. I mean, hey, Jack, you're not some like 13-year starter with the Dodgers with like 4 World Series rings. Well, nobody has 4 World Series rings with the Dodgers, but you get my point. I mean, you've been there for 2 months. You've been blah.
He left,
and you left trailing by 3 runs, and now is your time to chirp. Like, why?
Mike Schultz
said a terrible decision.
Mike Schultz said it earlier this season, I think after the Nationals game. We all remember that very well. And it's a true statement, and it rings very well right now, is we'll never start anything, but we'll finish it. And that's exactly what happened tonight. Like, I mean, you strike out Manny. Manny, I just was walking back to the dugout, and you think it's a good idea because you fucking suck right now to chirp at Manny of all people. And then you've pissed off the entire dugout. And then the fans back it up because they see your trash act and they start throwing stuff at Profar. This to me, like, I'm with you, John. I know that from a Dodgers perspective, they don't have like, oh, the decision that we made, like a bad defensive play cost us the game. They got their ass beat tonight.
Yep.
But if I'm in that dugout, I'm like, in that clubhouse, I'm going up to Jack Flaherty. I'm like, what the fuck are you thinking?
You're a freaking idiot. I mean, it was going to be hard enough for the Dodgers to win this series. That's the truth. Padres have played the Dodgers very well this year. They had the rotation advantage. If nothing else, people were expecting it to be a long series. This was not some formality for LA. The last thing you want to do is give San Diego additional motivation. They're the most motivated team, arguably, in the postseason. I mean, they just have everything working to their advantage right now. They come into the postseason red hot. They sweep Atlanta. Now they're playing for Joe Musgrove. They're playing for their owner. Yeah. Now you're poking bears left and right. You're asking for trouble, and we'll see what happens from here. Caleb, thank you again. He says, lastly, that broadcast team was terribly biased. It did feel a little bit like it had a little bit of a funeral feel, listening like the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings.
Yeah, Joe Davis was not happy that he had to call a blowout loss for the Dodgers.
How about John Smoltz being like, if you're the Dodgers, this is probably the way you'd prefer to lose the
game.
Shut
the fuck up!
You're getting freaking embarrassed at home in the postseason as a preferred path for LA. Like that, come on, man.
Stop.
I mean, Big Jan SD. Let's get some claps for Big Jan SD. This is a very generous super chat, which reminds us to let you know that we've got year-round content for you, so please subscribe, and thank you for the super chats. Click the $sign below the chat box, like Big Jan SD. He says, LFGSD, great win. We should be up 2-0 if we walk Ohtani game 1. Dodgers punk trash fans trying to hurt our guys. I hope they bring that same energy to Petco. We are waiting for you. You will be thrown out. Y'all don't want the smoke. I'm happy with this series being even. That was the goal. Get a game at Dodger Stadium. I said it before the series started. Take home field advantage. Get Michael King on the mound. He'll be a favorite at home. Game 4, if you get a 2-1 lead, I have faith in the Padres finding a way to close it out. So this, to me, was the desired result. Get back home 1-1. You don't want to get greedy. You didn't have to. You're 1-1. Last night was last night. It wasn't perfect, but you're 1-1. You're heading home. I don't think you can ask for more than that, and I think they have enough to now win this series and take 2 of the next 3 games.
If you were to pick which game you'd want to take at Dodger Stadium, tonight is the game you want to take because you now have momentum going home with Michael King on the mound, and then everything added to the mix. Look, job is not even close to finish yet in this series. I mean, after this show tonight, like you got to go game 3 mode. Like it's on. Like, yeah, we'll talk about on John and Jim tomorrow as well, 3 to 6, San Diego Sports 760. We'll recap tonight, obviously, and yesterday's game as well. But like for these guys in that clubhouse, it's a quick reset. We understand the assignment, and we also have in the back of our heads everything that transpired tonight, from the Jack Flaherty bullshit to the fans bullshit and everything in between. And it's just, again, it's like, dude, we've watched every single Padres game this year, me and you, John, and all almost 800 people watching right now. And this is the last team that you want to start talking shit to first. Like you just don't want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. Let me ask it from this perspective, Jim, and to everyone that's watching here. We got Dodger fans watching tonight, but many fewer trolls tonight than a night ago. Isn't that funny?
Interesting.
But let me ask this to the chat and to you. Which team would you prefer to be right now? To me, it's not even arguable.
Yeah.
Doesn't guarantee anything.
No, it does not.
Which team would you prefer to be? San Diego heading home with potentially 2 of the next 3? Or would you prefer to be the Dodgers getting embarrassed in game 2 and not having any advantages in starting pitching from here on out? Flaherty and Yamamoto have been awful. And your 3s and 4s aren't matching the 3 of San Diego, which is Michael King. 4, we could have that conversation when we get to game 4. on Wednesday. But you tell me, which team would you rather be? Who's got the advantage right now? Is it San Diego or LA? You tell me. I think it's pretty easy.
Well, they have the hottest hitter in the series right now on their team. That's Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah, they being, you're right.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
They have the better pitcher starting tomorrow. They have lined up the better pitcher starting game 5 if it gets to a game 5. Yeah, I mean, going to game 3 at Petco, it's going to be an absolute madhouse. I mean, getting tonight's win in the fashion that they got it. It wasn't just like they won 10-1 straight up. There was no drama. It was a drama. It was a drama-filled game for as a blowout you could ever get. Like usually 10-2 games, you don't see much drama. Tonight had a lot of it. And
so much drama.
It's just going to make Tuesday just even more incredible at Petco. But they got to take advantage here, right? Like that's the key is they got to carry this over, and Michael King has to pitch a good game. Like the Dodgers have still an amazing lineup. Just because Ohtani went 0 for tonight and Betts went 0 for tonight doesn't mean that they can't still like do something in this series. Ohtani is still very dangerous. Mookie Betts is still very dangerous, and you have to treat him as such. And I'm not like saying they won't, but like going forward, just because they won in the fashion they won tonight, just beating the shit out of the Dodgers, it's not a foregone conclusion the Padres are going to win the series.
It's not, but there is no honest Dodger fan that is out there tonight that thinks the Dodgers have a better chance of winning the series than the San Diego Padres. That's just my point. This is completely flipped. And I think honestly, heading into the series, if Dodger fans are being honest with each other, they knew that this was as hard of a matchup as they could possibly want. Playing San Diego in this round. I mean, there's no question about that. The Freddie Freeman health as well. All right, let's continue on here. Sean, thank you for your support of the channel. Thank you guys for hanging out. Please subscribe, and thank you for the supers. Padres roll the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium tonight, 10-2. How about that big 2-out, 2-run homer in a postseason game for Max Muncy to make an 8-run game? Sean, thank you. He says, that's what I'm effing talking about. Y'all showed out and took care of them and their classless fans. Take care of business at Petco, baby. BLA. You were in the building in 2022 for these games. I was not. I think it was in Utah, doing wrap-up shows from there. That, of course, was incredible atmospheres and great theater, and it's raining. Maybe that to another level ratcheted up as the rivalry continues to simmer and brew over all these years, and you have the back and forth, and you had last night, and Padres fans can sense what's happening here, which this team is special, and maybe this is the team. So the atmospheres are just going to be sensational, is all I would say. It's now, again, to your point, that doesn't mean the Dodgers aren't capable of silencing it, scoring early, getting the crowd out of it. But, dude, if you're going on Tuesday, be loud, get there early, and be a factor.
Yeah. The atmosphere in 22 is like something I don't think, to me, could have ever been topped unless they got to a World Series, obviously, or like they won the pennant at home. But I feel like Tuesday is going to top all of that. Tuesday could be the most electric crowd in the history of Petco Park, because it's going to be the most fans. Like there wasn't 47,000 fans in Petco in 2022. There will be 47,000 plus at Petco on Tuesday night, and with all the drama that happened tonight, it's going to go to another level. And Walker Buehler just was announced as the game 3 starter for the Dodgers. And
I think as expected, right?
I think, but there was also kind of maybe a chance that they could push him back. I mean, after Flaherty, like, as you said, it's not easy decisions for Dave Roberts to make, because
there's only 2 available to him, right? Buehler and Knack. Those are your 3rd and 4th starters currently.
And I mean, I obviously like the Padres' chances a lot in game 3. And it's going to be an electric crowd. And I mean, I can't freaking wait, dude. I want the game to start like literally right now.
Yeah, I almost don't love the Monday off day, which to me is a bit of a reset for LA potentially. But I think the momentum is so real right now. And again, the momentum of your next day's starting pitcher, that to me is real. And Michael King, what we saw last week is real. And Walker Buehler is a question mark. And the Padres lineup right now is too fierce to not take advantage of opportunities. They smell blood is the point.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully they'll take advantage. Back to these super chats. We will tell you about our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz, in a moment. Richard, thank you, man, for the generous support of the channel. He says, very nice win. Just unfortunate that the blue team and fans are just have poor sportsmanship, and the Padres keep owning Princess of Baseball. Hashtag LFGSD. Deja vu 2022. We'd be getting ahead of ourselves to make too much of Ohtani's night, because you know that Ohtani's fully capable of changing the series with one swing or one night. We understand that. The Padres did obviously a much better job. They didn't let him be a factor in a win or a loss here tonight. But he is the type of player. Everything that I'm saying is kind of contingent on Shohei Ohtani not taking matters into his own hands and having himself a 2-home-run game or some big 3-run double or grand slam or whatever the circumstance is to change the series. So as great as Tatis is, as good as tonight was, Ohtani's capable of doing things like Fernando Tatis Jr. is doing right now, and we all understand that.
For sure. He's still one of the most feared hitters in the game. He's the most feared hitter in that Dodger lineup. It's not even close. But I think what you do take away from these last two nights is the matchup with Tanner Scott against Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, that's a great matchup for San Diego.
And also, don't forget, Jason Adams struck him out as well. So the two guys that you brought in here for late game situations to face guys like Shohei Ohtani, so far Ohtani's 0 against those guys in this series. I like that a lot. And that's, it's like, other than the home run that he hit off Cease, what's the other hardest ball he's hit, or what other hard ball has he hit that you're like, fuck, he's locked in? He had a bloop single the other night.
Yeah, he had that was the other hit.
So he had the home run and the bloop single, broke his bat. Tonight went 0, didn't really have good contact. I think he struck out one time, right?
Twice. He definitely struck out one time against Tanner Scott.
He struck out 2 times tonight, once against Darvish, once against Tanner Scott. So he's really had one at bat, and that was Dylan Cease yesterday, where he hit the ball as hard as you possibly can hit it. Other than that, he's been 0, like as far as like hard hit balls. So I like that matchup so far. Advantage Padres, and so far I just love the fact. By the way, going back to the Manny huddle in the dugout, that will go down if they win this series and they end up winning like the World Series. That will go down as one of the most baller moments in the history of this franchise and in Manny Machado's career, because not only did that he pulled that, huddle out, they immediately tack on 6 runs in the following 2 innings. And
everyone's homer, dude. Merrill and Higgy and
Toddy,
Johnny and Jimmy.
I mean,
it was everyone. Bogey pulled out to Kirk Gibson 88. Hey, I'm dead. I don't even return for. We haven't even talked about that. Hopefully,
that might be a problem.
That could be a problem. But before leaving the game, on one leg, he homers. Now, a hamstring would be a big concern for me.
Yeah, I thought it was his wrist at first. Like he swung.
The way he was bending. Now, I thought they took him out of the game as the game was over. And I mean, they're up by 8. Tyler Wade comes in, but that's something to keep our eye on for game 3. But you're right. I mean, they just completely poured it on. Let me roll through a couple of supers, then tell you about Mark Nimitz. HBBBV, thank you for your longtime support of the channel. He says, Merrill has more home runs than Snooky bats. Trashy fan base. Thank you, HBBBV, for always keeping it interesting yourself. Von Schlief, thank you for the super. Says, awesome game. Absolute belt-to-ass performance. No doubt. Padres Payne saying, love the approach tonight from Darvish. Good pitching and timely hitting is a beautiful thing. It was his pitch selection and repertoire and ability to throw anything for strikes. I mean, those nights where Darvish makes it look easy, man. And they've talked about he's falling behind guys 2-0. He throws a breaking ball strike. Like, he's got that full complement of pitches. He trusts everything. Everything had good movement and break. He was locating pitches. I mean, we didn't know, Jim. September 1st, we're like, you, Darvish?
Yeah, who?
Will he appear for the Padres? You know how we speculated throughout August. I'm like, there's no chance this 38-year-old pitcher is going to miss this opportunity. Right. The last great opportunity to win a World Series, potentially in Yu Darvish's career. And he comes back, pitched well enough in September. Wasn't perfect, 3.55 ERA. and then does this tonight. This was vintage you, and this was one of his best performances of his career as a 38-year-old.
Well, after last night, you're sitting there being like, damn, maybe that loss of Joe now becomes even more magnified if Dylan Cease isn't going to pitch like we know he can. And I mean, Darvish is kind of a question mark. He hasn't pitched in well over a week. Like the last time he pitched was Friday of the regular season.
No, I know.
That Friday where they clinched the 4 seed. So it's been what? 10 days?
9 days? 9, 10 days. So it's like skipping a turn, you know what I mean?
And you're sitting there being like, all right, please go out and just give at least 5 because, you trust Scott, you trust Adam, Hoeing, Suarez. He hasn't appeared in this series yet, but he's probably going to make an appearance, I would think, at some point. I mean, it's not going to be all blowouts either way. Like,
I agree. There'll be a game. Yep.
But what Darvish did tonight is just such, I mean, after everything that he's dealt with this year, we don't know the situation to why he had to leave the team, but it was a personal matter. And then for him to come back and then perform tonight, I mean, it just gives you more confidence as a Padres fan going forward, knowing like, wait, if you're going to get that Darvish, you expect to get at least, hopefully, Dylan Cease to have one game in this postseason where he looks like an ace. And Michael King has been your most consistent pitcher all year long. And we saw what he did in game 1 versus the Braves. It just makes you feel better about the Padres rotation.
Completely agree. Chucky D says, I have no detailed game analysis to offer. I'm super chatting to Jackson fucking Merill.
Dude, what a fucking baller, dude.
Let's talk about Jackson on the other side. Chucky D, we'll get back to that. I do want to remind our viewers that are here right now, live or on replay, that we can't do this without your support. Everyone here live or on replay. We're talking about close to 1,000 people here live. We need to thank our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz. He's been with us since day one on the wrap-up show. If you have any insurance need, if you're in California, get in contact with Mark. I've got homeowners, life, and earthquake insurance. You can as well. He does auto. Just by switching your insurance, he could save you $750 or more. If you ever have to file a claim, Mark is there for you. Trust me, I had to do it in 2022, the last time the Padres beat the Dodgers in the postseason. If you support the channel, support Mark Nimitz and click the link in the description down below. He's a lifelong Padres fan, a native San Diegan. Whatever your insurance need is, let him take care of it. He's a great insurance agent with great service and communication. So if you support the channel, I know Mark is probably in the chat or celebrating right now somewhere with someone. He's a diehard Padres fan. He's a big time supporter of this channel, and he's a great insurance agent. So click the link in the description down below if you want Mark Nimitz to help you out and save you money on your insurance.
Yeah, all his information is that ticker, like we always say. mnimitz@farmersagent.com. Reach out to Mark and let him know that we sent you.
The catch that Merrill made was good. The home run was great. He's hitting everything hard. He is not overwhelmed by any moment. We said it against Atlanta. We speculated that the Dodgers series would not be too big for him as the Padres advanced. And what can you say? I mean, he's played like one of the best players in the sport this year, and he's playing like an all-star, which is who he is. He's playing like an all-star right now in the postseason, helping the Padres advance in the postseason. It's been fun to watch.
He's been incredible. I mean, 21 years old. Are you serious? He's setting all types of rookie records for the Padres that probably won't be matched for a long time. And
youngest to homer.
He might have made a miscue in the outfield yesterday. It was a tough ball.
Yeah.
But like, other than that, dude has been exceptional. He's a guy that people, look to in that clubhouse and in that dugout, and he's 21 years old. I just think that with what Tatis is doing right now and what Jackson Merrill is doing, I mean, you're getting popped from Higgy. Higgy has more postseason home runs than Mookie Betts does in his career. Think about that.
He has more postseason home runs this year?
No.
Because he said 3 this postseason.
Kyle Higashioka now has the same number of career postseason home runs as Mookie Betts, which is 4.
Which is?
4.
Wow.
And Fernando Tatis Jr. has 3 this year, and then he has
2 more.
2 more from 2020.
He's got 5 in 10 games. That's crazy.
I just think that for all the talk of Shohei Ohtani, I mean, Joe Davis better get his head out of the sand and take his Dodgers jersey off and start realizing that the player in this series right now that's the scariest is Fernando Tatis Jr.
100%. They're showing, by the way, on Fox. I'm just watching their post game coverage of different like social media posts of people like in the stadium or at Petco Park for some of these watch parties, and they just showed a video from Marty Caswell from the press box.
Really?
I don't recall what the circumstance. It might have been the home run from Tatis in the first, but they put at Marty Caswell up on the screen on this national Fox broadcast. All right, let's get to some of these supers. Guys, if you're here, please subscribe. All right, we're here for you all postseason, all offseason, all season long. Please subscribe. And thank you for the super chats. Great way to support the channel. Click the $ below the chat box. Andrew, thank you. He says, legendary U performance, gangster profile move. Classless Dodgers fans, as always. Doubt we'll have to go back to Chavez latrine, though. A doubt's probably a strong word. But the Padres have it in their hands to win this series in 4 games. So it's possible it doesn't go back to Dodger Stadium, but doubt to me is a little bit of a strong word. I'm not saying this series is over, and I'm definitely not saying that this series doesn't go 5 games, because that's not how I feel, even based on what we saw here tonight. It could absolutely still go 5 games. You hope it doesn't, but it absolutely could.
Yeah, well, I don't respect majority of the Dodger fans and Jack Flaherty. I still respect their lineup. And I still respect that for Shohei Ohtani is, other than tonight, has been playing out of his mind. I mean, they showed his last 13 games, which is a 13-game hitting streak. He was hitting like 530. Like it's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, not as good as what Fernando Tatis Jr. is doing this postseason, but it's okay.
Good point.
And so you still like respect them in that sense. So I'm not sitting here by any stretch, Andrew, and saying that, oh, I just because they won tonight 10-2, they're not going back to Dodger Stadium. You know, I think that the Dodgers aren't going to just like lay down here. It's going to be tough next 2 games. Would I love for the same situation to happen as in 2022, where they take the next 2 games here at Petco Park? Absolutely. But the Dodgers have a really, really good lineup. It's, do they have enough pitching? Like, that's their issue. Like, their issue is like, their pitching, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, they can win a game with their offense, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to do against the Padres pitching staff. By the way, shout out Mark Nimitz, who is in the chat as well here tonight, our title sponsor of the wrap-up show. Click that link in the description down below if you have any insurance need. Mark will talk to you about the Padres. He'll hook you up as well. E-Racing with Dale, thank you, man. He says, Dodger fans, just a bunch of unclassy people. Should be ashamed to be a Dodgers fan. LFGSD, what a game. Tatis is absolutely on fire. What a catch by Profar. The Tatis thing, man, considering everything he's gone through, some of it self-inflicted, let's be honest. We all felt the same way. 2022 is a complete and utter shit show. The injury, the suspension. But for him to be in this spot now, so mentally stable, and to have come a long way from the youthful 19-year-old that made his major league debut to the 25-year-old that's excelling right now under the brightest of lights at Dodger Stadium. It's just a joy to watch if you've been watching Padres baseball for the last 6 seasons, because you've seen it all. And that's what happens with professional athletes sometimes, from young to, learning experiences, highs and lows, injuries, adversity, overcoming obstacles. That's where I feel like we're at with Fernando Tatis Jr., where he's taken that step forward, probably 2 steps forward, and put himself back in the conversation, Jim, of being one of the great players in the game. I don't think we were saying that a lot after the suspension for about 2 seasons. There was injuries. Last year's numbers weren't great. This year, he was hurt for a lot of the year. And look at him now in the postseason. He's playing like one of the best players in the game.
Like, you sometimes forget that Tatis, as far as his talent goes, is one of the most talented players in the sport. Like, when he's on, he's a top 5 player in baseball, in my opinion.
A couple years,
And you also forget this dude has a $340 million contract for 14 years with no opt-outs, and nobody talks about that. Like, no one's talking about that right now. All they're talking about is this guy is performing at another level. Since he got back from his injury, he has been incredible. And truthfully, I think all of us were we were all sitting here being like, look, if he gets like maybe 5 home runs before the postseason, that'd be great. He had 7. And then he's got 3 this postseason. He's got 10 home runs since returning about a month ago. It's been about a month, and he has 10 home runs since he's returned, and he is right now the hottest hitter in the postseason. He's just so fun to watch. The defense that he plays out in right field, the catch he made tonight, the pettiness, which I fucking love. Jerks and Profar as well. I mean, they are like the petty kings, and I just eat it up. I can't get enough of it because they go out there and they back it up. It's just, oh my God. Someone make a Petty King shirt
Petty Kings.
with Tatis and Profar on it.
You make it. Moises, thank you, man.
No.
He says Tatis' swag is next level. It really is. I mean, he's like dancing in the outfield. Dodger fans are throwing trash at him, booing him. Booze raining down on him. He just doesn't care. We were down on Tatis on the wrap this season because of his constant injuries. Happy for El Nino. I mean, most Padres fans have been down on Tatis at some point over the last 3 years. From the 2021 offseason into 2022 not playing, to 2023's down year, to missing half the season this year. But to see it all circle back around has been an absolute joy. It's been an absolute joy to watch for Padres fans. Angel, thank you for the super chat. He says, I've been watching you guys since the first half of 2022. We appreciate that, man. You're Thanks, one of the OGs, one of the originals. I listen to you guys every morning while at work painting. Appreciate what y'all do. LFGSD, FTD. Absolutely love that, man. Appreciate your support of the channel. And by the way, Angel, if you're listening to the wrap-up show and watching the wrap-up show, you can also support by listening and watching to John and Jim. 3 to 6, San Diego Sports 760, iHeartRadio app, or also find us on YouTube. Search for John and Jim 760. But appreciate you, dude. Whether it's your first time here, day one, or you're an OG like Angel, we appreciate your long time support of the channel. Rocket says, thank you, Rocket. Says, Darvish unlocked 2022 form. Bats embarrassed Dodgers pitchers. Padres did the best way to shut up trash talkers, do it with their play. That's the type of win that really takes it out of the other team. We shall see. That'll be interesting, Jim. Like, how do the Dodgers respond? Like, are they the team that looks like San Diego? When they get to San Diego in game 3, do they take the life out of the crowd early and score early, like the Padres have in each of these first 2 games, early runs at Dodger Stadium, or not? And we'll find out Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, it's Michael King's I mean, obviously, it'd be nice if he put up a performance like he did game 1 versus the Braves. But I mean, if he's got to go out there and put up zeros early on to make sure that the crowd, which will be in an absolute frenzy, doesn't have a little bit of the air popped out of the balloon early on in the game. Like, I'm not saying the Padres have to score first here, but like, you got to put up early zeros if you're Michael King. And then obviously, yeah, of course, getting on the board early for the Padres would be massive to get the crowd into the game, which will be damn near 100% Padres fans. And then you really put a lot of pressure on the Dodgers. Like tonight, after tonight's game, Dodgers are feeling it, right? Like they're like, okay, we just went through our 2 top guys and they got knocked around pretty good. And we're actually kind of lucky to go to San Diego tied 1-1 when you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good way to look at it, truthfully. Someone posted, by the way, on our Twitters, they tagged us into something saying that the Dodgers were halfway to a forfeit in terms of time that the game was stopped. I don't know if that would have played out in a Major League postseason game or not, but
they would have.
And by the way, the score would have been the same. A forfeit would have been a 9-0 Padres win, and the stats would have counted. A 10-2 Padres win is basically the same thing, which was a Dodgers forfeit tonight.
Well, no, weren't they up 4-1 after that?
I know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, the game was 10-2.
They're up 4-1 during the whole shit show.
Yeah. Adam says, thank you, Adam. Why do Padres always disallow Dodger fans there? They don't. That's been discredited 1,000 times. I'm not going to get into it.
Nope.
But first of all, Padres sell more percentage to capacity in their ballpark than the Dodgers do at Dodger Stadium. So the Padres had a better percentage to capacity this year at Petco than the Dodgers did at Dodger Stadium. So it's a false narrative and it's dumb. Jimmy, thank you. He says, once again, Cronenworth continues to struggle. I would say what I said last night. You kind of bit back at it. I would respond with this. Who cares? That's how I feel right now. I think they have enough that they can overcome individual struggles this postseason.
I mean, it's not nothing. There was a moment in this game where he had 2 on.
And after they'd added on. They were up 4-1 there, right?
Yeah, and it was really like a moment where if he came through there, then the kind of floodgates are a little bit open. And he went 0 for again tonight. I think he's 0 for the postseason.
He is.
Look, you're going to need Cronenworth, and you're not going to
Maybe.
put Tyler Wade in there, and you're going to have him hit 7th or 8th in the lineup, and hopefully he gets a couple big hits here and there. I mean, you still think that he has it in him. It's not like he's never done anything before. He's had clutch moments for this team. He can run into one for sure. He can run into a hit or a clutch hit or clutch moment. But yeah, he's struggling. There's no doubt about it. But you're right, John. I mean, if Tatis is going to be playing like this,
Yeah,
and if Jackson Merrill is going to be playing like this, and you still got Manny Machado, who's a huge threat as well. Bogarts, that's the big key: is Bogarts healthy or not? If Bogarts is
that's a
healthy,
factor.
then I think Bogarts has had a quietly really good start to this series. If you think about it, the double yesterday, the 2 runs scored, the home run tonight. I think he had a couple other hits there as well. I don't have it in front of me, but Xander Bogaerts has quietly had a really good series to start here in the first 2 games for the Padres.
Name me a World Series winner that did not have one player in their lineup not perform in the postseason, and you're going to find a lot of World Series winners. It's hard to get productivity out of 8 or 9 hitters.
And he's your 7 or 8 hitter.
And the thing is, here's the thing: your 9 hitter Kyle Higashioka's hit 3 home runs.
Right.
Jackson Merrill is doing everything for you. Manny Machado has been coming. I mean, you have enough options. Plus, you've got good pitching. That I'm not saying I have zero concerns with it, but I'm not concerned that one player is struggling in 4 postseason games and it's Jake Cronenworth. I'm just not.
Do you want to hear Manny's explanation on the incident tonight with Jack Flaherty?
Sure, if it's audio only.
It's audio only. Hold on. Here we go.
I kind of started everything out. Where? After he
Which one? There's a few. Strikeout after the strikeout.
Let's start at the beginning.
Yeah, man, he made some good pitches, right? He made quality pitches, got me going, and he won that competition, right? Made his pitches. I couldn't deliver with that situation there. When it's a first and second, no outs, right? So he won that one for sure.
What were you guys saying to each other?
Just going back and forth, competition, right? I mean, things that happen in between the lines, people just going back and forth. He's competing for the ball club, and I'm trying to get a big hit for my team. So, yeah, man. I mean, this is the beauty of postseason baseball, right?
Manny, did you take exception with something he said to you?
No, I mean, I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it until after, my dugout started screaming back at him. So, I mean, he won it. I mean, he made his pitches, right? I swung at a ball 4. He got me twice today, and I tip my cap. When credit's due, I kept walking. He made his pitch. I kept going, but then I get to the end of the dugout and I see my team starts sparking. So that's kind of when I figured something, he was probably saying something, and that's when everything kind of just went out, and I didn't really know what was really going on.
You guys, when you went back out for the field, you were still going at it. When Jack was in the dugout, what was being said there? Almost looked like he was challenging you.
I mean, honestly, you can't really hear with this crowd, so I don't really know what was being said. A bunch of gibberish going back and forth, and it was a long inning for us after that with balls being thrown and, kind of icing our pitcher there a little bit. And, Darvish coming out and then having that 0 was huge for us as well. So, yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing to be playing postseason baseball.
Manny, Flaherty said that you threw a ball into their dugout, and that's what prompted him to start barking.
That I throw what? I throw balls all the time into the dugouts.
Into their dugouts?
I throw. Yeah, both dugouts. They have ball boys. You throw the ball back in there. So, yeah, when you try to hit our best hitter, right? Get him out. If you can't get him out, don't hit him, right? We don't go out there and we're not. They got the best player in the game, right? Ohtani. We don't go out there and try to hit Ohtani. We try to get him out, right? Don't go out there and try to hit my guy.
Defense rests. They 100% threw at Tatis. No question in my mind now.
Yeah, I guess that's what Manny definitely felt. It's interesting that it would stem from. So I'm trying to remember because when did it start with Flaherty? He was on the mound, then it was between half innings, right?
So no, what happened was top of the inning. I forget exactly what inning it was. Tatis is up, and I don't know. He got hit, but what was the count? Anybody remember the count?
I thought it was the first pitch in the sequence.
If it was, then it's 100% on purpose. Okay. It was the first pitch, so that was no, it was an 0-1 count.
Okay.
It was an 0-1 count. So it's the
which
second
lends
pitch.
less credence to it, but okay.
Still, I think when you're going out there, John, if you throw the first pitch and it hits a guy, then yeah. But if you throw a strike or you throw a ball first and then you hit the guy, then you can have the defense of like, oh, I didn't mean to hit him on purpose. Right? Like he's not an idiot.
I mean, it
even though he
doesn't
acts
really
like one
matter if
tonight.
there was intent or not. It's what the Padres thought. And clearly what Manny
Yeah.
Machado thought was that they intentionally hit him, which
Right.
once again galvanized the Padres and then started the back and forth with Flaherty chirping. And that also galvanized the Padres. And you shouldn't be chirping again when you're trailing in the game. It's just it's a bad idea.
So that was the
Padres.
It was a sixth inning.
It was 3-1 or 4-1 at the time.
3-1.
Yeah.
Profar got the bunt down. Then Flaherty struck out Manny. Then he started to chirp at Manny after he struck him out. Manny's like, what the fuck? And then he gets taken out of the game. And then Merrill gets to hit there. Now it's 4-1. Then there's 2 on, 2 out. Because Bogart
Cronenworth, right?
Because Bogarts grounds out. And then
Bogarts
grounds out, Cronenworth strikes out. And then in the following half inning, Flaherty's on the top step like a tough guy. I mean, he is the ultimate hold me back guy. He's the guy that like starts the brawl, but then runs away and lets everyone else fight for him type of guy. And he starts then chirping at Manny, and you saw Manny be like, "You want to meet me in the parking lot? That's okay. Go." I'm sure John Boy will have a breakdown here soon, but
he said that parking lot.
What I saw was like him instigating. Yeah, I'll go meet you somewhere. And Manny's like, "You want to meet me somewhere? Okay, fine."
I thought he was pointing at the scoreboard.
Maybe he was pointing at the scoreboard. I don't know. I'm not as good of a lip reader as John Boy is, or whoever else will break that down. But to me, it looked like you want to meet me somewhere? Fine, I'll meet you after the game. Okay, let's go meet after the game.
All right, let's get to some of these supers. Padres Pain, thank you. It says these long post-game shows make me despise Padres.tv. That's for another day, but Fox done a nice job here. I mean, they got long in-between game shows between Phillies, Mets, and then post-game shows here for Padres. I mean, really long. You're talking to, they get manager sound and player sound and commentary, and you're hearing from Jeter and A-Rod and Big Papi and Dontrell Willis. I mean, they're running circles around local television broadcasts right now. JD Gasho, thank you. It says Padres fans have come after me too. One made a heinous accusation about my character that just isn't true.
Yeah, see, that's bullshit. It goes on both sides.
Yeah,
it's both sides, JD Gaucho, and there's no place for any of it.
Well, if you're going to be in a chat with 1,000 Padre fans and you're a Dodger fan and you're a longtime supporter of the channel, but there's going to be some there's going to be some fire in there that shouldn't be intended for you, but you're going to have to take because there's 1,000 Padre fans in here. So you know how it is to be a fan.
But there's also no room for it. I mean, you can jab back and forth, and that's all fair game. But when you start like saying something derogatory or attacking somebody as far as like racial slurs or whatever else, there's no.
Is that happening?
I'm not saying it is,
okay.
John. I'm just
I
saying,
haven't seen in the chat. If that's happening, someone please let me know.
No, I'm just saying in general, from both sides. I'm not saying the Padres fans are saints, and I'm not saying. I mean, obviously Dodger fans aren't either. They're to me the worst, but like, there's just no room for that for either side, and it's just that can't happen. I mean, it's just bullshit. Like, it's all fun and game, not fun and games, but like if someone says like, "Huh, scoreboard," I mean, that's all fair game, dude. But anything other than that, like, literally, like, go fuck off. Like,
it just lends credence to the idea that this is becoming a real rivalry when you see what's playing out at Dodger Stadium here tonight. Ishmael, thank you so much for your support of the channel in the super chat. He says, "Hey guys, can we talk about Darvish and how he shut down Ohtani?" Yeah, I mean, absolutely we can. It wasn't just Ohtani that he shut down. He shut down a really good lineup. I mean, one of the better lineups in the sport, if not the best lineup in the sport. He had everything working. We talked about it. I mean, there was one inning where he was, theoretically on some ropes, bases loaded, nobody out. That could have turned the tides in the game. But I mean, Darvish pitched great. What else can you say? Yes, Ohtani has not hit him in his career. I don't know how many at-bats that is, but came in hitting 200 against Darvish, and tonight was 0 for 2 or 0 for 3 off Darvish, whatever it was. So Darvish was great against Ohtani, but he was great against the entire lineup. And again, Betts, Freeman, Ohtani had not hit Darvish, which is another reason to believe that Darvish would start a fifth game if a fifth game does in fact occur.
Yeah, Darvish is the game 5 starter if it gets there. And you're going to need another performance like that for game 5 that you got tonight if it gets to that point.
Mhm.
You know, but now going to game 3, I think you have, by you, I mean the Padres have an advantage because it's King versus Buehler. And you know what Tatis's career numbers is against Walker Buehler, John? I just saw this thanks to Giannis on Twitter, Too Much Mortons.
What are they?
29 ABs, 4 home runs. He has a 1,034 OPS.
That's good. Really
It's good.
good.
I like that. And Buehler this year, I think, has in the regular season, he had like a 5 ERA, 6 ERA,
Yeah,
my bad.
he's
Something
nowhere
like that.
near the same pitcher he previously. I don't even care
1
if
in
he's
6 with a 5.38 ERA this year.
dude. I don't care if Tatis is hitless in his career off Bueller. The guy's so red hot, none of it even applies. So like
No,
whatever he's
it's
done, it's only
beach.
going to be inflated because Tatis is seeing the ball like a beach ball
It's a beach
right
ball,
now. Jared, thank you. We talked about this earlier. Tatis hitting a cool 643 with a 2,158 on base plus slugging, which is good.
Is it
If you're
good?
wondering, the highest on base plus slugging possible
Oh, cool.
is higher than that, but that's about as good as you could possibly do and would run circles around Barry Bonds. I mean, if you had 643 in the postseason, it runs circles around anyone in the history of the game. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Ryan, thank you so much for the super. He says Jake has to get his bat going. 0 for 15 is hurting us. I mean, is it though? Is it though hurting them? They're 3-1 in the postseason. So is Jake Cronenworth's 0 for 15 hurting the Padres? Is that why they lost yesterday? That's not how I see it. And is it why
No.
they won the other 3 games where they're 3-1 in the postseason? I don't see how it's hurting them.
No, it hasn't hurt them yet. That's what the 0 for 15 is right now. It hasn't hurt them yet. If Cronenworth in game 3 is up like 3 times with runners in scoring position,
Sure.
the
Down a
Padres
run.
they're trailing or down a run or whatever, and he doesn't come through either of those times, then it hurts the team. But it didn't hurt him tonight because it was a blowout. It didn't hurt him in game 1 because they put up 5 runs on the board. And to me, the issues with that game was more on the side of decision making from Schilt and Cease and more than Cronenworth. Now, again, they were 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position last night, which was bad. I don't know exactly how many times Cronenworth is up at the plate with runners in scoring position. Maybe a couple, maybe once. I don't know. But it's not hurting the team right now.
No, it's really not. But the point's valid. Yeah, I mean, if you need to come through, if there's going to be a spot in this series or future series where you're going to tie a game or trailing by a run and Jake Cronenworth fails to come through, then like anyone, if they fail to come through, then you're going to critique that performance. Jordan, thank you, man, for your support of the channel. I think it might be a super sticker, but thank you guys for supporting. There's about 1,000 people here
Thanks,
live.
buddy.
If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so right now. We have year-round content for you. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, in season, out of season, postseason, we are here for you. So please subscribe. Please smash the like button as well. How many likes do we have on this video?
Well, we're going to need 1,000 likes on this video, John, because right now we have let me check.
7.
Over 200. We're gonna need more than that. We have 1,000 people watching, guys, and this is, I think, a record for the wrap-up show. Almost 1,000 people watching. If you're watching right now, just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get the likes all the way up to 1,000 tonight. Let's try to get to 1,000. And if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Tonight is a night that we would love your support. So thank you for watching us, and we really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, let's see if we can get to 7,500 subscribers during this series. We're at 7,350 right now. So if there's 150 of you right now in this chat that have not subscribed, or if you are one of the people that has not subscribed to this channel, do it right now. We appreciate your support of the channel. Let's get back to some of these super chats. We will tell you about our friends at Mova Globes in a moment. Carson, thank you. He says, nice. We only had to use 1 reliever each. Makes a bullpen day feasible. Game 4. I liked going to Tanner Scott in the 8th inning with the off day Monday. Who cares? I liked going to Alec Jacob in the 9th inning. The game was over, so who cares? And I like the way it's setting up. And I think they absolutely could throw a bullpen game in Game 4 if necessary. No question about it.
I think that I mean, the bullpen usage tonight to me, it wasn't that big of an issue because
Not at all.
of what happened offensively, and the way that Darvish pitched. I mean, I just can't get over how good Darvish was tonight with all the bullshit that was surrounding that delay in the 7th inning
Mhm.
and how much glazing that's been going on about Ohtani. For him to go out there and shut down Shohei Ohtani in 3 at-bats when he faced him, only give up 1 run. I mean, now again, the defense behind him was incredible tonight, but he made the pitches when he needed to make the right pitches, and he was just fucking brilliant.
Oh, he was terrific. He really was. And you didn't need more than 7 innings. I don't know how many pitches he ended up throwing, but you had the 15-minute stoppage. 7
Under
was
100,
perfect.
I think.
Yeah. So he did his part, and the bullpen did the rest, although the bullpen didn't have much to do because of the offense. Jordan, appreciate it again. He says, pumped knowing King will be holding down game 3. I mean, we all saw King against Atlanta. So you'd sign up for anything close. I mean, anything close to it, 5, 6 innings, 0-1 runs. I mean, that's close. 8, 9, 10 strikeouts. If he can give you anything close to what he did against Atlanta, you're in prime position to have firm control of the series and go up 2-1. And again, I don't think he needs to go 7 scoreless innings, but I think he goes 5, 6 innings, allows a run or two with this offense, and facing Walker Buehler and with red hot Fernando Tatis Jr., I think you take your chances and say, let's take control of this series and let's go up 2-1.
Yeah, I think you have the best guy on the mound you could ask for going into a game 3 start at Petco, tied 1-1. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more. Michael King has been their most consistent pitcher. He's been honestly probably their best pitcher all year long. Dylan Cease has had better moments than Michael King, but Michael King's ERA in September leading in the postseason has been like sub-2, including his last start. He's been fantastic. You could not have asked for a better matchup. They just have to go out there and execute, play good defense, get timely hits, and come away with a 2-1 series lead after Tuesday night's game. You have everything, and you have everything lined up how you want it. Everything. You got to go out there and execute now.
I'm watching a replay of this game right now on FS1 because they're replaying it. I just watched in the replay the Profar playing left, and Betts has his arm up in the air around second before he realizes the Profar made that play. It's really incredible theater. Rita, thank you, man, for the super chat. He says, should we maybe not pinch hit for Higgy anymore? Fair. He's probably earned the right to finish off every game based on the fact that he's homering at some absurd clip. I mean, like, ridiculous clip. 3 home runs in 4 postseason games for a number 9 hitter is like unheard of in the history of the sport. So that's probably fair.
Sneaky pop, dude.
Saint
Pop.
Saint Stream. Appreciate the super. He follows up by saying Tatis has a 2151 OPS in the postseason. If he keeps it up, I have a feeling they're going to win this series. If he keeps it up, I have a feeling they will win this series.
Yeah, Fernando Tatis Jr.'s like the surface of the sun hot.
He really is. Let's get back to this in a moment. We do want to remind our viewers about our friends at Mova Globes. Pick one of these puppies up before they're gone. All 30 clubs officially licensed, including your San Diego Padres. If you use promo code PWS10, that is PWS10. By clicking the link in the description down below, you'll get 10% off. They spin automatically with artificial or natural light. They're great for the baseball fan in your life. They've got Padres and all 29 other teams available to you. Again, 10% off with promo code PWS10. Great gift idea. This company is based in San Diego. This technology was invented in Cardiff by the Sea. There are no cords. There are no wires. It's based on magnets, and it's simply incredible, the technology. They've got globes that are non-MLB globes as well that you can check out by clicking the link in the description down below. So support the channel, support Mova Globes. Click the link in the description down below. Like I like to tell people, ever since Mova Globes came on board early May, Padres are as hot as any team in baseball. So thank you, Mova Globes, for your support.
Yeah, PWS10 is a promo code. Buy one today if you're a Padres fan. Even if you're a Dodgers fan watching, go get a Mova Globe. Use our promo code PWS10.
All right, so we told people to subscribe, and people have been doing it, so please subscribe. And we told people to like the video. Please do that. Let's get to 1,000 likes, either live or on replay here. Tonight, let's get back to some of these super chats as the Padres annihilate LA tonight at Dodger Stadium 10-2 behind a record performance, 6 home runs by the Padres, the most in the history of the postseason by a road team, as the Padres win it again 10-2. JD Gacho says Padres flashed some leather. All I can say is, damn. Even the play that Machado made late that was barehanded, that was overturned from an out to safe, was an incredible defensive play. And that was a safe, ends up being safe. But yeah, it was Merrill, Profar, Tatis, Arise, Machado, to name a few tonight for San Diego.
Yeah, the defense was incredible tonight. I thought last night they did not play a clean game at all. Manny had that uncharacteristic error that cost them a run.
Right.
And tonight, just a flawless defensive game from the Padres. I mean, just an absolute flawless game. I mean, to me, this felt like yeah, it's obviously the postseason, and so it's magnified more, but didn't this feel like one of the most complete games they've played all year long? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe the most complete game with defense, their offense, pitching, starting pitching, bullpen minus Alec Jacob. It's just an incredible night all the way around. Yeah, they were on point.
They really were. They really were. I'm not going to pull up this super from Mr. B because he takes a shot at you.
No, do it. I don't care.
Okay. Mr. B says Dodger fans eat corn the long way, and Jim is still a mega simp.
No, he's joking. This is fine.
Okay.
It's okay.
Then keep the supers coming that are joking but making fun of Jim. Mauricio, thank you. He says Dodgers will upgrade mid to bottom lineup players and manager if they don't make the World Series. This may be our best chance. LFGSD is Crone zone asleep. I mean, the Dodgers can upgrade all they want. I mean, all they've done is throw money at this thing for years on end, right? I mean, it was the failure of 2022. It was the failure of 2023. They spent over $1 billion. Ohtani, Yamamoto, Tasker, Hernandez, Glass now. I mean, think about this offseason. And I know they'll say if they don't make it out of this round or if they don't win the World Series that, well, we were decimated by starting pitching injuries and we'll address it in the offseason. We'll be better positioned in year 2 of Ohtani than we were in year 1. And some of that might be truthful, but don't give me some lame excuse that we didn't have pitching and you guys did. Therefore, this is acceptable from a Dodger fan perspective. And I'm already starting to see some of the excuses come out, and the series isn't even over. But don't give that to me. That's an absolute joke. Dodgers payroll is 2 times the Padres payroll right now. That's embarrassing if you're already making excuses in the midst of a series as if we should feel sorry for you because you've had injuries to your rotation. That's a joke.
It's an absolute joke. You're right. The Dodgers went out and spent $1 billion this offseason. Your $300 million pitcher in game 1 got rocked for 5 runs. You have a player that they paid almost $1 billion to, and there's
actually $2 million.
$2 million a year. There is no world where the Dodgers should be considered underdogs. I'm
Right.
sorry. They're just not. They were picked to win this series before the series started by Las Vegas.
Yep.
That's the indicator of if you were an underdog or not. I don't want to hear this shit about, well, the people in the media picked the Padres to win. Okay. Guess what? Las Vegas picked the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
So by that definition, the Padres are the underdogs in the series. And they're going up against a team who had the best record in not just the National League, but in baseball. They have home field advantage throughout the postseason. They had a bye the first round. They have the MVP of the league on their team. And they spent $1 billion in the offseason. Don't give me that shit. They're not the underdogs, not even close.
And don't try selling me. And again, this series is so far from over. I don't know what happens. Maybe the Padres win the World Series. Maybe the Dodgers win the World Series, or maybe someone else wins the World Series. So we have no clue what's going to happen. But don't sell me on like, well, we're setting it all up for 2025. That is not the path that was chosen after the last couple of off seasons, including this past off season. Like that's stupid. That's a dumb narrative. That's fake. JD Gacho, thank you. He says, I love Nando's response to the crowd. Maestro, he's theater. Watching Fernando Tatis, you know what the first thing that Kristen said when the game ended? She said, Fernando, take your shirt off. I'm like, I don't think he's going to do it tonight following the 10-2 game. But, I mean, the guy is just confident and in control and playing the best baseball of his career right now.
Mhm.
Adam, thank you for the super. Says there's more Dodger fans than Padres. That's probably why they don't allow Dodger fans to buy tickets, because it would have been more blue in San Diego. No, that's not the reason, Adam.
No.
46 of the 47,000 tickets were already sold prior to them putting these limited tickets on sale. So you would have 46,000 Padres fans because they've sold out all their season ticket memberships. The remaining 1,000 tickets, why would you reward someone else's fan base when you haven't even sold all the tickets to your home games? There were tickets available for game one the day of game one at Dodgers.com at face value. So if you want to see the Dodgers play, Adam, go to Dodger Stadium. If you want to see the Dodgers at Petco Park, well, go to a secondary market. But Padres fans have deserved the right to see their team at home, and that's what's going to play out hopefully this week on Tuesday and Wednesday. Not to say there won't be any Dodger fans, but it'll be primarily Padres fans. If you got a problem with it, go buy tickets.
Exactly.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
So stupid.
So dumb. By the way, a lot of Padres fans it looked like tonight at Dodger Stadium. Talon, thank you. He says, and there was nobody in the building once it was like 5-1. It was so embarrassing. Talon, thank you. He says, Jake Cronenworth, wow, homeboy is toast. Is this really the takeaway? Is this? I'm being honest. We've had 3 supers on Jake Cronenworth. Is this really a takeaway tonight?
Some people it is, John. They just can't be happy. I mean, I get it. I get it. Cronenworth has not done anything this postseason, but that's not even like on my mind as far as a topic goes right now. It only becomes a topic if he's directly involved with moments that cost this team going forward. Now, again, it's going to be interesting to see the health of Xander. If Xander and his hamstring is worse over the next couple of days and he cannot play game 3, that's a huge loss for this team. And that will put more pressure on Jake. Because right now, like I said, Xander's had a sneaky, really good first 2 games of this series.
Padres are reporting it as a cramp.
I would love it if it's just a cramp and he needs
That's
IVs.
what Jeff Sanders reported, that the
I
Padres
would
said
love if it's just a cramp. You get some
Which is
IVs
possible.
ready to go. You're fine.
Michael, appreciate you, man. Longtime supporter. He's with Mova Globes. Thank you for the super. He says, on flight back to San Diego now, crew announced when we won. Whole plane cheered. Thanks, Flaherty, for firing us up more. Petco will only feed off of it. LFGSD. Great super, Michael, and spot on. By the way, real quick, also on the Cronenworth thing, this whole like, you win 10-2 and Jake Cronenworth is useless. Here's my hope for Padres fans. I hope if the Padres keep winning at this clip, I hope they win the World Series and Cronenworth goes hitless.
Yep.
Because who cares? Like, you're going to say the night they win the World Series, they won the World Series, but no, you're going to say they won the World Series.
Yeah. You like,
someone's going to have a good World Series if they win it, and someone might not have the best World Series if they win it.
Manny Machado could go hitless the remainder of the postseason. If they win the World Series, nobody's going to care. And he'll be viewed as a legend in this town forever.
That's right. Rice Child, appreciate the super chat. He says, how dumb was it to see 3 batters away with Shohei Ohtani's picture on the score? They didn't feature anyone else. What's your thoughts? Yeah, we've talked about the last 2 nights. They don't do it with Tatis. They do it with Ohtani. It's like they have to keep the audience engaged by flashing Ohtani's photo every second because they think it draws eyeballs and ratings, and they might be right. But it's kind of embarrassing to those that are there just for the game, is what I would say, and to Padres fans.
Yeah, I mean, do you honestly think, John, you have a large contingent of casuals watching this game tonight because of Ohtani?
I don't know during Sunday Night Football. I would think maybe on Saturday. That's what Major League Baseball would lead you to believe. He's a generational global superstar.
Let's
see the ratings.
I would tend to say that while I think the ratings could be really good, that majority of the fans that watched the first 2 games were probably diehards and probably baseball fans.
Probably. You're probably
so
right.
Like the fact that they think, oh, we need to keep the fans engaged and tell them when Ohtani's up because Ohtani's the number 1 player in the sport. Not everybody likes the Dodgers. And I would tend to say that mostly everybody besides Dodgers fans, obviously, hate that team. They're not a likable team. They're not a team that like gets a ton of other fans that flock to them to watch their games. They might have the most stars potentially. Sometimes they might have the biggest star in the sport, but I would argue that almost every other fan base in baseball hates the Dodgers, especially a team that has played the Dodgers in, big moments or postseason games or, division, obviously Giants, whatever. But like the Dodgers are just not a likable team. They're not a team that like, oh man, love the Dodgers.
Well, they're not the little engine with their $400 million payroll and their
No.
$670 million deferred payment to Shohei Ohtani. I mean, there's just no excuse. I mean, it's basically love-hate. You either like them or why would you like them? Jeff West, thank you, man, for the super chat. He says, you own Shohei. Maybe Roki Sasaki would too. Is he going to be posted? Japanese pitcher that's going to be posted that's coming over, the next best Japanese starter coming over. That'll be a conversation for the offseason, Jeff, but thank you. Iron Sticks, thank you for the very generous super. He says, great show. I want the Padres to beat LA. Cronenworth needs to step up. I mean, we'll pass these supers along to Jake. I mean, maybe we could DM him on Instagram or his fiance or his wife. Or I think he gets it, would be my guess. I don't think he's planning to go 0 for 4 every game he plays in the postseason.
Again, if he goes 0 for 4 and they win this series, I mean, no one's going to sit there and complain. I hope not.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate the support of the channel, Iron Sticks, and get it. I mean, people always want to critique even when things are going good, and the series isn't over. It's 1-1. I mean, there's a lot of work to do, so maybe they will need him over the next couple of games. So it's fair. Pete, thank you. He says, the Tatis tongue wag, then Homer, is epic.
Dude.
Smack talk. I know you tweeted that out. I don't even know what that was in reference. Was he on field or in the dugout at that time when he did the tongue wag? He was in right field, right?
The tongue wag, he was in the dugout.
I don't even know what that was in reference to. Maybe the crowd. But yeah, he was on one tonight in a good way. Steve, thank you. He says, what will you pay us to get to 1,000 likes? We'll pay you $2, Steve. If we get to 1,000 likes. How about that? Canis Lupus, thank you for the super. He follows up by saying Darvish or Cease next Friday. This, for both of us, I think is easy. I think it's got to be you, Darvish. I don't know how you could justify starting Dylan Cease. He really labored and struggled in game one. When you see the way you, Darvish, pitched here tonight, I think it's just a matchup advantage, truthfully. So, I mean, I don't know if Cease could appear again in the series, Jim. Would they bring him back on 3 days rest if they lost game 3?
I think they would have to really think long and hard about it. I think tomorrow you're going to have to talk about your plans for game 4 and talk about every scenario. If they're up 2-1, I think you're going to see Martin Perez start. If you're down 2-1, I got to go down with my guy. And I'm not putting Martin Perez on the mound in a must-win game. I'm just not. Like, there's no circumstance in the world where I'd put Martin Perez on the mound in a elimination game.
Not in an elimination game.
No. Up 2-1, you can sell me on it and make sure the bullpen is ready to go and they're on red alert, like from the first pitch of the game. Not an elimination game. No.
Especially when Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman coming into this game had a .221 career batting average against you, Darvish, and then he did whatever he did here tonight. So it's even worse than that. So yeah, it's going to be Darvish if it goes 5. I'd be really surprised, if not shocked, otherwise. And this is to Samuel's point. Thank you for the super. We've been discussing it here. Thoughts on pitching Cease for game 4 and Darvish game 5 if needed. I think, to Jim's point, it only happens if you're trailing 2-1. And if you're leading 2-1, I just keep Cease available to me if necessary for a 5th game, if necessary, because let's say you score 4 in the first and then Darvish gives up 3 in the second and it's a murky, but you got Dylan Cease available to you. If you had to, break open in case of an emergency, you've got Dylan Cease available to you. But yeah, that's the way I look at it. But again, if you're down 2-1, I'd be very seriously contemplating Dylan Cease in a 4th game. But if you're up 2-1, I wouldn't even probably consider it. Right. Mr. B, thank you again for the super chat. He says, would never take a shot at any of you. It was all in good fun. A couple of streams ago, fans were jokingly calling Jim a simp. I don't remember that, but I don't remember anything. Take it easy,
not remember
John.
that?
I love this show, LFGSD. I mean, I do remember it, but I'm like, what even is a simp? And then I had to look it up. So I think I just like blacked it out of my mind.
Anyway,
Oh man. Sergio, thank you. It says Jake saving his best for Petco. Don't worry. Now he's had a flare. You may recall Jake against the Dodgers in 2022, Jim.
oh yeah, where he hit 538 in that series.
Right. Maybe game 4. Do you remember what he did?
Oh yeah, he had the go-ahead hit.
Yeah, when they were like, what were they down in game 4? Like 4-1, 5-1, or 4-2, 5-2? I mean, they were down in that game.
They were down 3-0.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Retod, appreciate you, man. He says, we're not relying on Jake's bat, but he will have one hit, and it will land in the Crone zone to walk it off in game 4. Can you imagine? Sea of San Diegans, Friar Faithful, Crone zone.
I would
Walk
love
off.
that if he hits in the Crone zone at Petco Park, either Tuesday night or Wednesday night, preferably Tuesday night, because that's the next game. Yeah, place is gonna be fucking electric, dude. It's gonna be electric. But they got to go out there and they got to play good baseball because Otani's still Otani, and yeah, just gotta.
I mean, I would still have like special rules for Otani to Nawaf's super here. He says emphatic win. How do you think we should deal with Otani moving forward? Is there a way to contain him, or is it too much to ask? Great show as always. I think in a short series, anything is possible. I mean, in theory, the series could be over in 2 games. You're basically asking to contain him for 8, 9 plate appearances moving forward. Is that possible? Of course it's possible. Is it also possible he hits 2 home runs in a game? Of course it's possible. So I still would rely on quote unquote Otani rules. I'd be extra cautious. I thought it worked out very well tonight because the way Darvish threw it, he wasn't up in circumstances with men on all night long. That didn't happen. That could change in a 3rd or 4th game in the series. I would be cautious, like I said yesterday, still today, despite the fact that he was hitless tonight.
100%. Just because he went 0 for tonight and didn't have a good game at the plate, you're not being like, oh, this guy's, you can get him out. Like, no, you still have to execute and make good pitches to him. And I still would walk him if there's runners in scoring position and a base open, especially if there's 2 outs. If there's 2 outs, there's no question in my mind that they need to walk him with a base open and runners in scoring position and 2 outs. 1 out, it's tough. Obviously, no outs. I mean, but 2 outs, you are walking him still, even though he went 0 for 4 tonight. Don't let him get
I think you're right.
any type of momentum at the plate. None.
Yeah, I'd almost frustrate him. I think walking him and working around him is frustrating for the Dodgers. I don't think it's ideal.
No.
And your pitching staff's good enough that you can work around a base runner. They're good enough to handle it.
Yeah.
Even with this Dodger lineup, I would frustrate him and I would make it hard for him to truly beat you, which is something he played a role in game 1. It can't happen again, guys. No. He can't have another meaningful 3-run home run that costs you a game and get away with it. Like, that's too much. He's already done it once. You can't allow him to do it again in a meaningful spot that could potentially cost you a game.
Yeah, no, you got to treat him as such. I mean, he is. You treat him like Bonds. Like, that's just what it is. And I bet you if Tatis, say first inning against Buehler, Tatis hits like a double or a home run off of Buehler in game 3, guess what Dave Roberts might be doing to Fernando Tatis Jr.? Well, I don't know because he's not really a great in-game manager. But I mean, if I were Dave Roberts, I would just not pitch to Tatis either.
Put him on. Yep.
But again, then that plays in the Padres' hands because Profar performs when he feels slighted and
slighted. Yeah, that's a good point.
I would not be surprised at all if Profar has a big game on Tuesday night.
I know, I agree with you. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Machado, Merill, Tatis, Higashioka, Cronenworth.
Hello?
I mean, truthfully, anything's possible at home, that's for sure. Hendrick, thank you for the super. He's reminding us that Sunday Night Football had a 90-minute weather delay. It's still going on right now, isn't it?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
What?
I can't hear you.
What?
Can you guys hear John or is it just me?
I can hear me.
Oh, boy. Okay, but can you hear John? Because I can't hear John.
It's your shit computer, dude.
Oh, that's weird. I can't hear you.
That's okay.
Okay. you hear me now? Hello? Say something. Okay.
What's
good.
up?
Sorry, that was my bad.
You're an idiot. JK Rosser LV, thank you. He says, shout out to Washington, gave us that killer instinct.
Well, it's happened from day one this year.
Oh, the
Like
Nats. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it happened at Dodger Stadium early in the year when they called Profar irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
And then it trickled down
This happened
to
day one.
the Washington game, and then it trickled down to this game. And I think there might have been another moment. What are you watching?
Padres Dodgers.
Did you watch the first time that it happened, or did you?
Yeah,
Are
and
you
I'm watching
it
again because when your team wins 10-2, it's like when the Niners beat the Cardinals, you watch it twice. When they lose, you don't watch it a second time.
That was completely uncalled for.
You're asking what I'm watching. It's 3-1. There was a sack fly.
Guess what happens, John? They win the game.
He gets out of it.
They get out of it. They win the game, and Darvish does really well.
I know, but it's fun to watch when you know good things are going to happen.
Okay. Press pause and then watch it after.
I don't have the ability because my Roku is not working right now.
Soft.
Vector, thank you. Vector says U wins, keeps the bullpen fresh, and back to Petco LFG. I mean, yeah, they got it. They got a lot working for him, Jim. Like when you add it all up, King, rested bullpen, home field advantage, better matchups, at least in game 3, rotation, King Bueller, I think is advantage Padres. I mean, what do you not like here? I mean, again, all things considered, I like their chances is my point. Dodgers have to line up. They've got Ohtani. But again, their rotation, this has been the story of 2022 and 2023. They've got some issues in the rotation. Look at Flaherty and Yamamoto. And like, this should be enough that the Padres should be able to capitalize on, in my opinion. If this is the team we think they've been in the second half, this special team that overcomes adversity and wins series consistently, then they should take advantage of this opportunity, in my opinion. I hope they do.
I hope they do too. They have exactly what they want. I mean, yeah, would they want to be up 2-0 going to game 3? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
But at worst, they needed to get out of Dodger Stadium with the split. They did that. They played exceptional baseball tonight. And you have arguably your best pitcher going in game 3 against a guy in Walker Buehler who is very gettable. And I'm sure that the bullpen for the Dodgers will be on red alert come Tuesday if Buehler is shaky early on. And that ballpark is going to be insane. So, yeah, I mean, ready for game 3, man.
So let's set the stage for a moment for our viewers. And again, if you're here and if you have not subscribed, please do that. Year-round content for Padres fans, year-round content for baseball fans, truthfully, in season, out of season, in the postseason. So please subscribe. We're hoping to get to 7,500 subscribers this series. So we need your help. If you have not subscribed and you're here right now, maybe for a first time, or you've just never subscribed, now's the time to do that. We do appreciate it. It doesn't cost you a penny. If you haven't liked the video, where are we at, Jim, on the likes?
Well, John, since you asked that question, let me look it up.
How do you find that?
I just go on YouTube here. We are at over 400, almost 400 likes so far. So gotta get that up, guys. Gotta get that up.
You want 1,000, right?
I want 1,000 by the start of game 3 on Tuesday.
Okay. So we need more likes. And here's the other thing. Tuesday, join us downtown, 9th and Market, before you make your way in. Or if you aren't going, watch the game from the Naughty Barrel. It is a great spot. They have happy hour for the 2 hours leading up to the game, 4 to 6. We'll broadcast live, John and Jim, from 3 to 6. And we had a ton of Padres fans and wrap-up show viewers and listeners join us last week against the Braves. So if you're a wrap-up show supporter, please check us out. Join us, say hi, grab a drink, grab some food, hang out, go to the game. And we're there from 3 to 6. We'll be on the air from 3 to 6. We're on YouTube as well. Search for John and Jim 760. We're on the iHeartRadio app. If you're not in San Diego, if you are in San Diego, come join us or listen on the radio. That's going to be an amazing scene, Jim. The perfect start time for us, 6:08. We're on the air from 3 to 6. That's Tuesday and Wednesday. One of those games is going to be a clinching opportunity for one of these two teams. I know that Game 4 will be a clinching opportunity for one of these two teams. We'll be broadcasting live both Tuesday and Wednesday from 3 to 6 downtown San Diego at the Naughty Barrel.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be an electric next couple days here in San Diego. And
Crazy.
we knew that, I mean, we knew this was going to go to at least 4. Like, I would have been shocked if it was a sweep either way, because both of these teams are really good. And yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 to 6, Naughty Barrel, right before first pitch, 6:08, both nights. Oh my God. I cannot wait. It's going to be electric.
It's going to be unbelievable. It really will. And we'll be broadcasting Tuesday and Wednesday from downtown San Diego, AM 760. Indeed.
Man.
You can find us there. Can confirm.
Can confirm.
All right. Appreciate you. Says Jake C is fast becoming Grisham 2.0. Stats don't lie. I don't know about that. That's probably a stretch. And by probably, it's a stretch.
It's a stretch.
Hold on one second. Ryan, appreciate you. He said, did you see in the okay. Did you watch this game? So Niners Cardinals football game. They had a pop-up on the scoreboard that said Ohtani 4 hours away.
That was fake.
Also, the one-sided announcing sucks. Did you notice that during the game?
No, that was fake. That was somebody did it on social media.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that did not happen. I retweeted something like that because I thought it was funny that someone made that graphic. It was fake. They did not do that.
Did they say Christian McCaffrey 4 weeks away? Do you want to kill me? When is Christian McCaffrey coming back? I'm paying no attention, if you haven't noticed.
I can tell. I can tell you've paid no attention.
I literally could care less.
Well, here's the thing.
Could not care less.
Here's the thing. The longer this Niner season goes on, the less I'm caring about this Niner season, because I exactly what I predicted is happening, and I'm just not going to torture myself. Like I'll watch, but I'm just not going to torture myself because I don't feel like this team is it. So that's my Niners take for tonight on the wrap up show.
Wait, this what's the record? You're giving they're like 5-2.
Or 2-3.
Exactly. Season's over. I agree.
Yeah, they have the same record as San Diego State. Okay, not good.
I like the Aztecs in that game. I'm with you.
I do too.
Oh man, what a night, man! This
what a
thing
night!
Unbelievable. How many times have we said this year game of the year?
23.
20. I mean, seriously. I mean, we've said it 20 times. We've done this. We've probably done 100. I don't know, 25, 135 shows during the season. We've said it 20 times. We'll get to the supers that are rolling in. We do want to remind our viewers about our friends over at Underdog. If you have not signed up as of yet, what are you waiting for? You can play Padres Pick'ems right now, including Game 3 of this NL Divisional Series. Use promo code PADSWRAP, PADSWRAP. Click the link in the description down below, and you're going to get a 50% deposit match up to $1,000. Their best offer yet. They'll give you a gimme first pick as well, and then you can just play simple pick'ems. Will Manny Machado have higher or lower than a half home run? Will Michael King have higher or lower than 6.5 strikeouts, and so on and so forth? But they'll give you gimme picks like higher or lower than Patrick Mahomes having a half total yard throwing, and so on and so forth. So if you haven't signed up, now is the time to do so. Support the channel. Use promo code PADSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. Click the link in the description down below. You can play across all sports, including Padres postseason baseball for Game 3. Padres Dodgers back here at Petco.
You know what's crazy is what was I going to say? Well, one, there's still an NFL game going on.
Is that
two? What?
What's the score?
17-13. Cowboys have a 4th and goal on the 4-yard line with 26.
How come every one of our shows ends up with us watching random football games?
College football better though, as far as like crazy things.
Yeah,
happening.
It's more fun and random.
Yeah, it's like NFL is not that crazy. Well, it can be, but still. What was I gonna say? I totally forgot.
NFL games going on right now. Cowboys.
No, it was Padres related. It had nothing to do with the stupid Cowboys. Wow, Cowboys just won.
Did they really?
Yeah. Shit, I forgot. Totally forgot. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. There's so much to still unpack that I have not seen yet on social media that when I go finish the show here and go lay down, like it's just going to be so many different things and so many different videos and angles and interviews to hear about this game. There's still so much left to unpack. It's crazy.
Oh, 100%. I mean, 100%. You'll hear a lot of sound tomorrow, John and Jim, beginning at 3 p.m. Reaction, post-game, Padres, clubhouse, managers. Yeah, there is a lot to react to. And the good news, I mean, this game with the 5 o'clock start, and I mean, it's not even 10 o'clock in the West. You know what I mean? I mean, I ain't going to sleep. I'm going to be consuming content. I'm watching this game back. It's 3-1 Padres. I feel good about their chances right now. They've got Flaherty on the ropes
Yeah,
right
I
now.
feel good about their chances. You know, I think they might win tonight, John.
I think so. All right, guys. Well, listen, let's do it again for game 3, but let's do it tomorrow. San Diego Sports 760 at 3 p.m. We'll be talking wall-to-wall Padres beginning at 3 p.m. for 3 full hours on the off day. Hopefully not overly eventful for the Padres, but we will hear from Mike Schilt. We'll speak with the media. We'll hear from Dave Roberts. We'll speak with the media on the workout day down at Petco Park prior to game 3, as the Padres will turn to Michael King and the Dodgers will turn to Walker Buehler. It's game 3 of this best-of-5 series, in a series that is deadlocked at a game apiece after the Padres just steamrolled LA tonight 10-2. 6 homers, Fernando Tatis Jr., the drama.
Did you miss Super Chats?
Oh, yeah, I think I did. Hold on. We're not going anywhere. Everyone relax.
Jesus.
Everyone relax. Sir, there's still time if you guys are still here. Sergio, thank you, says, did you see the video of Estrada in the bullpen?
I retweeted it and he was about to fight somebody because people were throwing stuff inside the Dodgers or inside the Padres bullpen.
What? I haven't seen that video. I have your retweets turned off.
Well, look at my timeline, you idiot.
I will at some point. Ryan, thank you, says, glad that was fake. We still need Don and Mud. I do hate that, not having local broadcast rights in the postseason. Just give me the option. Can't put it on the app or something.
Well, I'm fine with the national. It's whatever. I just hate the fact that you got Joe Davis doing the Dodgers game that's not an NLCS or World Series because he's the number 1 guy. I get it.
Right.
I don't know, man. It makes me miss Joe Buck so much. To be truthful,
you and Joe Buck, man, you love him.
I do. I think Joe Buck was fantastic with baseball.
Okay.
I think a lot of people didn't like Joe Buck, and now a lot of people are saying, "Man, I miss Joe Buck."
Ballpark Pretzel, thank you. He says,
"What?
Will there be another Dodger rally in the Gaslamp? Probably not. Or maybe. I have no idea. I mean, we saw no Braves fans last week. I kid you not. We saw 2 jerseys in 2 days. I think that changes probably to some extent with the Dodgers being here. But again, if you were there in 2022, you remember it was 99.9% Padres fans inside Petco Park. Do you expect that to be the same? Is it going to be overwhelmingly like that?
Yes. I expect it to be 96, 97% Padres fans.
Yeah. I agree with you.
You'll see, and there was a good amount of Padres fans at Dodger Stadium tonight. As far as when the camera looked for them, they weren't just one fan. It was a good amount. I mean, there's a couple in the outfield that you saw. There was one behind home plate. I don't think you're going to be seeing that at Petco Park.
No, I mean, again, it cleared out when it was 6-1 or whatever. But I mean, it's a postseason. You're clearing out. I remember watching regular season games this year where the Padres are trailing like the Rockies 5-0 at the 8th inning, and the place is full. It's like a Ha-Seong Kim bobblehead night, and you're down 5 runs to the Rockies. It's the first half of the year. It's a 500 team, and the place is full. So Padres fans have earned the right to host these next 2 games and have home field advantage, and to hopefully enjoy the Padres play well with them in the building, because they've earned this, man. The last couple of years, it's been up and down, a lot of down. 2023 down. First half of this year, we had a lot of questions about this team, but the fans have not wavered. They have been there since day one. I mean, think about it, from the 2022 postseason to the disappointment of 2023 to the first half of this year to the unbelievable second half. One thing that is a constant is Padres fans inside Petco Park, because the crowds have been just terrific there for now years on end.
A rally in the Gaslamp. such a cringe thing to do.
So cringe.
A joke.
All right, guys. Support the channel. Subscribe. All right. Please subscribe if you haven't done it. We're trying to get to 7,500 subscribers, and we need your help. Simple as that. So please subscribe. Year-round content for you. Smash the like button. You can follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. If you're here on replay, thank you for the super thanks. Thank you for your longtime support of our partners, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. If you have an insurance need, let Mark take care of you. He could save you $750 or more. Click the link in the description down below. Mova Globes. Michael, what's up? 10% off. Use promo code PWS10. You know you want one. Click the link in the description down below. Promo code PWS10. Underdog. Win big up to 1,000 times your money in a single night. Get a 50% deposit match plus free gimme picks by using promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. Click the link in the description down below. If you didn't know, the Padres won tonight, 10-2. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Then Tuesday at the Naughty Barrel downtown. Then the wrap-up show Tuesday night as well. Great time to be a Padres fan. Padres win it. This has been the wrap-up show. Bye, Jim.